An eBay user named Tav listed a Chicken McNugget for online auction. The nugget was listed because the seller felt it resembled a crewmate. But after a bidding war, that nugget was sold to an anonymous buyer for $99,997.
I think what a lot of people probably did when this game came out and COVID happened is a lot of people were staying at home, hanging out with their villagers.
You may think I'm joking, but the Joe Biden 2020 campaign did release official digital yard signs for use in the game.
How are they teaching chemistry with Minecraft?
But I'd love if one of the villagers was like pregnant.
Well, what if they say it was Tom Nook and then the baby is born and it looks like the alligator that lives next door?
That alligator's got some explaining to do. The game broke industry sales records and became the fastest selling entertainment product in history. Avatar 2, highest grossing movie ever in history, has $3 billion. This game has $8.5 billion, almost 3 times as much for one game. Let's start to begin today's game. I'm here with the Bowser to my Mario, Stephen Clark. Stephen, no need for a speed run today. Tell the folks at home how the hell you are.
It's a me, a Stevon.
It's a me. You know, your specialty is Luigi, actually.
Wahoo! Here we go.
That's the one. Can you do Wario?
What was the thing that I would... I'm a Wario. I'm gonna win.
That is what he says.
That's what he says.
Okay, one more. Waluigi, what's his thing?
I don't know. I just know that when you play Mario Party with him, he has this annoying, like, wah-ha-ha noise. That laugh that he always does.
But Wario was like, he had his own games at the beginning. He was the anti-Mario. I get it.
Wario was some really good games.
Sure, yeah. But even way back on the Game Boy, he had Wario World and all that. Waluigi was created specifically just to have another playable character in like the party games, right? Mario Party, Mario Kart.
Yeah, I think, they had Wario as the anti-Mario, and then they needed an anti-Luigi, so they make Waluigi.
But they've never built on him. Wario has like a character and a history. Waluigi's just a creepy ass that hangs out in the party games.
He has a cult following.
Waluigi, we praise your name and ask for your forgiveness for today's episode, but I want to remind the folks at home that as a reminder, I've known Steven since we were both in middle school, and from day one, I knew Steven was a big gamer. When he wasn't cutting up Halo discs with scissors out of anger, he was playing the games on his various gaming devices. And Steven, you remain a gamer to this day. And that's why I want to talk to you about the video games most played by gamers at this very moment. Which means, in a poll, they asked, what are you playing more than any other game right now? And that's the top 10. The games that people are playing right now. This is May 2024. The games that they're currently playing the most. Top 10 of those.
So this could be like a new game just came out, and everybody could have answered that game because it had just come out, right?
Correct, but it's not that. I can tell you that the top 10 are all... there's a few classics on here. Not like, NES classics, but, modern classics. I'd say I'm looking through the most recent game in the top 10 came out in 2020.
Really? 2020?
You have to remember, a huge part of the list today is built upon streaming. So what people are watching and playing on Twitch or things like that. It's that type of game. And it's any console, including mobile phone. There are some mobile first games on here. And so my source today is Ranker. They asked their readers, what game are you playing the most right now? And 200,000 gamers from all over the world contributed, ranking the top 10 games they're playing right now. I'm recording this in May 2024, so this is a snapshot again of right now. And one quick reminder, we have done other gaming lists in the past. We did the top 10 best-selling video games, the most critically acclaimed video games back on 195, and me and Steven did the best-selling Zelda games on 223. One last thing, and then I'll shut up for a minute. I also pulled stats from twitchmetrics.net, newzoo.com, steampowered.com, gaminganalytics.info, and Wikipedia. Steven, how you feeling?
I just don't play games as much these days as I used to. I'll play the new one when it comes out. Like, I'll still play the new Zelda when it comes out, but I definitely don't play as much these days. And I feel even less connected to the popular ones that everybody plays a lot these days that are like the time sinks, because I don't know. I feel like I don't have the time to dump, 5 hours a day into a single game, which I feel like is probably what most of this list is.
I don't have the time to do any gaming because I'm busy editing your fucking ass and my other sidekick host on the Tennis podcast that sucks up all my time.
Yeah, there's probably
Especially
a lot of
the
editing
Dr. Buster
with
episodes.
Dr. Buster. Yeah, I was about to say, Dr. Buster probably takes a lot of that editing time.
Well, see, sometimes when he gets excited and he gets animated and he's like talking real close to the mic and he's like moving his arms a lot, getting real passionate about a subject, sometimes, and he doesn't even know it, but I'll just start hearing a little faint in the back, and it gets faster and faster the more he talks because the booty starts clapping involuntarily as his body's getting amped up and excited. And he doesn't even notice it, but I do have to edit it out of most episodes.
When you first started doing it, it made me think of the one that Brad did where he was like,
his dainty little booty clap. Fucking Brad is a menace to society. Well, Steven, let me ask you, what game are you playing most right now? If you had to like pin down, I know you said you don't play as much as you used to, but you do still play. What game would you say is getting the most of your attention in May 2024?
Yeah, I have a couple of nights a week that I have like kind of dedicated more so to hang out and catch up with friends than it is to like play the game. I don't feel like is the main focus, but I am playing Destiny again these days. They burned everybody. We quit playing for about half a year, and now they're roping us back in. Me, Alex, and
every time you think you're
talk
out,
to Alex Jones
pull
about
you
it,
back in.
they've pulled us in. And then another game I've been playing on Mondays usually is Lethal Company, which has actually been really fun.
What is that on?
Yeah, it's on the computer, but it's like an indie. It's a very small, like the graphics are very shitty, but that's kind of part of its charm. But like the whole premise is you are working for a company, you fly a ship onto a planet, you land there, you and all your buddies leave the ship and go into a building on the planet, and it's usually like pitch black, and then you try to find your way back to the exit and get out.
Well, that game does sound fun, and I know it's space themed, or at least part of it is space themed, and there are space themed games on this list.
Are there now?
Yeah, but I'm going to turn it over to you. What games do you think most people around the world are playing right now?
All right, well, I'm going to throw a softball. I don't think it's going to be on this list, but I want to try to start low. And since I am playing it right now, I will guess Destiny. I don't think it's going to be on here, but I'll guess it.
Destiny is not in the top 20.
I'm not surprised, really.
Some of these games did surprise me. Some of them did not. But some of them definitely did. And I'm going to help you out here. In the top 10, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the top 10 are playable on... It doesn't mean they've came out first on the Switch.
That's kind of surprising. I'm going to keep throwing softballs. So my next one, I'm going to go with Skyrim. It's been around a while. A lot of people play it. I don't know if anybody's still playing it these days, but no? All right.
Nope. I'm looking... Skyrim not in the top 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me up the speed here. You're
at 2 strikes, bub.
I know.
One more strike, and I got to eject you from the show.
Let's go with one that I tried, couldn't get into it, League of Legends.
League of Legends is your closest so far. It is exactly number 20.
Really? Wow. I thought that game was still like a thing. I thought everyone was still all over it.
Hey, it's in the top 20 games of all time. That's still pretty good.
God, this is going to be aging me here because I feel like all my guesses are going to be... All right, how about...
Hang on. You got to think for a second. You got to pull yourself out of your early 30 American male bubble. Okay? We got all ages voting in this poll. Okay? All ages, all consoles and devices. So just, however, if that helps you, just think about that.
Okay. How about Call of Duty?
Call of Duty, Black Ops, I guess that's 4?
I don't know what number they're on now. The last one I played was 2.
There's 4 lines, but 4 in Roman numerals is IV, so I don't know. But Black Ops, maybe 4, is number 12.
God. Okay.
But you're getting closer. You're getting closer.
All right. I'm gonna throw out Minecraft.
Online
How about Minecraft?
party. Okay. Now you're getting in the headspace. Minecraft.
I'm gonna put it at number 6.
Well, Steven, you fell ass backwards into the number one item on the list.
Can't believe it's number 1.
Minecraft.
I guess I should believe it because everybody plays it and everybody streams it.
Everybody plays it, and anyone with kids out there, especially, knows that you cannot escape Minecraft. It is number 1. It's from Mojang Studios. It first came out in 2011, although there's a million iterations that have been out now. Have you played Minecraft, Steven?
Nope. Only watched videos. Never played it myself.
Yeah. Same. Exact same. The YouTube videos of Minecraft are pretty much a 24/7 thing in the screens in my household for my kids, but I have yet to actually play this game myself. It's an open world sandbox style action adventure game that allows you to build and destroy to your heart's content. The true hook of the game, I'm not going to read that. A pop culture phenomenon that spread like wildfire, this block-based builder has impacted the industry and encouraged numerous imitations. I want to pause for you. It's interesting that so many games have huge budgets, hundreds of millions of dollars, like hyper-realistic graphics, and that's part of the hook of those games. But then you take Minecraft, which is such a simple interface and blocky and pixelated, and that's the most...
I think that the the players have come around, and I think that more people are looking for a more interesting and deep gaming experience, and they're willing to sacrifice the graphics for it. I feel like there was a point in time where graphics meant everything, and if you didn't have good graphics, then you weren't going to be a good game. That was kind of a thing. But now I think that a lot of people are willing to sacrifice, take Breath of the Wild, for example. It's not really pushing the boundaries for amazing graphics, but the gameplay and the depth is there, and that is what's going to keep people around. So
totally agree. I want to say maybe mid to late 2000s. I could be off a little bit, but that's in my mind. That's where graphics were the next game had to have better graphics than the last game you were playing, or else you probably wouldn't play it. Graphics were a make or break. But now, and I think a lot of this has to do with nostalgia and people playing classic games more than they ever have in the past, which makes them more open-minded.
I definitely think that graphics play a role, and I think that if you have two identical games that are doing identical things and one has better graphics, I think the better graphics will win out, obviously. But I do think the importance has been focused on the gameplay more so.
It used to be the first or second most important aspect in a new game release, and now I feel like it's still maybe top 5, but probably toward the bottom of the top 5 reasons someone would play a game.
Yep, for sure.
Well, in this game, the first Minecraft came out in 2011. It feels like it should be longer ago than that, but 2011 was when the first one, and 3 years later, 3 years after this game came out of nowhere, it wasn't built off some major, known IP. It just came out of nowhere. 3 years later, it sold for $2.5 billion to Microsoft. Microsoft is now the parent company of Mojang Studios. And Minecraft is also not just number 1 on this list, but also number 1 of the best-selling video games in history. It sold over 300 million copies, and there's over 140 million monthly active players as of 2023. The game has also been used. It's huge on social media. Merchandise. There's a Minecraft convention called Minecon every year, but it's also used for educational.
How are they teaching chemistry with Minecraft?
Well, I think they first take some beakers with some bubbling chemical fluid inside of it,
some Breaking Bad shit. Okay, all right,
right.
Science, bitch.
It's boiling, kind of, it's like a potent thing in this beaker, and you pour the beaker onto...
Isn't science amazing? Isn't, I don't know.
It really is.
It's
No, I think you mean God's amazing. God works in mysterious ways.
Praise be to him.
Last note is that a live-action Minecraft film is scheduled to show Jack Black.
Oh, God. Jack Black, he should be doing Bowser.
He'll be doing Bowser, too, don't you worry.
Is he going to be Steve? I only know the Minecraft guy Steve because he's in Super Smash Brothers, and I'm pretty sure that's his name, Steve.
I play Super Smash all the time with my kids.
You got to pay for him. Did you give Nintendo your money?
I love to give Nintendo money. I do it a lot, but I've not done it in this case, no. Smash Brothers, huh? That's an interesting game.
I'll guess it. I just I know that there's still tournaments, but I just don't think it's as popular today as it was, in the past. I'll guess Smash Brothers. I would be surprised.
I was surprised too. It is on here. We got to think about how people vote in this thing, because as far as games that the broadest amount of people play most frequently, remember, I wouldn't consider myself a gamer. I play video games casually, and I play Super Smash Bros. A lot with my kids. And so if I were voting in this list, I might choose Super Smash Bros. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm just shocked that Smash Brothers is above League of Legends. I just have always thought that League of Legends was, more popular than Smash Brothers. Not that Smash Brothers isn't popular. It's just for like longevity. What are people? I still have friends that play League of Legends, so I'm just surprised.
League of Legends, I have a note somewhere in here that League of Legends was the number one streamed game on Twitch for a long time until some other game we'll talk about later knocked it out of the first spot. So it's definitely huge. But I think games like Smash, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in particular, it's the Switch one. I think games like that, well, Nintendo masters this with their first party games, which is longevity. And you can revisit it, and it's ease of play. Anyone can pick it up and start playing it. Now, I wouldn't recommend anyone play Super Smash against Steven because you'll lose. But it's still a game that almost anyone could pick up.
I haven't played Smash Brothers in a very long time.
You are full. Maybe that's true, but you'd still.
It is true.
I played it yesterday.
All right. Well, I haven't guessed a number yet, so let's put Smash Brothers. I'm going to put it at 9.
Now look, you're going to think I'm full of shit. I'm just reporting what
Is it
Ranker
number
tells
2?
me. It's number 2.
Oh my god. I'm just
Steven. It's number 2. It's a Nintendo game. It came out for the Switch in 2018, and this game features an epic crossover event with the largest roster of video game characters ever assembled for a fighting game. Each player aims to knock their opponents off the stage, really packing a punch in multiplayer format. It's massively popular within the esports circuit. Its impact is evident when its continued relevance years after release. It's actually the third best-selling Switch game ever, with 34 million units sold as of December 2023. It's won 10 Game of the Year awards and received a lot more nominations. EVO 2019, do you know what that is? It's like a
it's a tournament.
Event.
I've watched a lot of Smash. Well, I used to watch Smash Brothers tournaments a lot, and some of the players are so crazy, especially on Super Smash Brothers Melee. Those tournaments are really crazy to watch, and I think they still have those today. I do think that Ultimate is the most complete Smash Brothers, the most balanced, because like when you play Melee, it's like there's definite characters that are better than others, but I do feel like there's really good balance. There's obviously better characters on Ultimate too, but a lot more balance, and I think it's a lot more fun. There's more stuff to do, a lot more maps, more items, more craziness,
more customization. Well, there were in that tournament, the EVO tournament in 2019, there were 3,534 people showed up to play an offline tournament, the largest of its kind at that time. So it's still big in the esports circuit. And my last thing on Smash is, Steven, who's your go-to?
And I think it might be Cloud. I do really like Cloud. I also like Bowser. Something about Bowser, like in any Smash Brothers game, I've never been a fan of the heavy, bulky characters. I've always been a fan of the more sleeker and maybe with a sword. But something about Bowser, he's just so fun, and I can't help myself.
I'm the opposite of you, where I usually gravitate toward the heavier kind of, they're slower, which is a problem, but they hit harder, and they just kind of, they bully their way around the map. And that's what I like. And Bowser's great for that. I love how you can grab a motherfucker and then jump up in the air and smash.
What about Ganondorf?
He's all right.
Wow. All right, you heard it here first.
What do you think of Jigglypuff?
Jigglypuff's all right. There's a pro who only plays Jigglypuff, and he is amazing, especially on Melee. I think his name is Lunchbox. Lunchbox? I can't remember.
That sounds like a thing I've heard. I think I've heard that name.
Hang on, I'm going to look it up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lunchbox. It's because Jigglypuff has this move where she can go to sleep, and if for whatever reason, if she sleeps on you, then you just get launched across the map, and that's what
he or she.
Yeah, he or she. I got to go find a female or a Ditto. Hey, you can go find a Ditto.
I guess that's true. If only there was a Ditto in the human world. We could just go.
Wow,
fuck. We're
gonna. All right. Well, we're gonna play that to your future employers. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep this trend, and this is a game that is still kept alive today, and honestly, I think they're doing a great job with the new map packs, and that is Mario Kart. People are still playing that today. I'm going to guess that. Is that in the top 10?
Mario Kart, the best-selling game in the history of the Switch.
Let me give you a number.
In the top 10. I knew you were going to go just to fuck with you, but it's not.
I know there's not Mario Kart tournaments, and maybe that has because people stream and watch Smash Brothers, so I don't know, maybe that's why. But I guess I'm confusing with what are you playing today with what have most people played? Because if you walked up to somebody on the street and said, have you ever played Smash Brothers, or have you ever played Mario Kart? I feel like more people would say I've played Mario Kart. Do you agree with that?
Yes, but I don't know if Mario Kart... Well, I agree with that, and it's also, what's the word? Factually true, because it's sold more games than Smash Brothers has. But, the way this is worded on Ranker is like, which game are you playing now that you would most recommend to a game, to someone to play? Endless is the word coming to mind, but there's a better word for it than that. Just like, and Mario Kart's the same. I'm not saying it's not, but
I don't know.
It's weird. It's weird. I agree that it's weird.
Well, I'm going to stick to Nintendo, and I wouldn't have guessed it to be on the top 10, but I've been surprised by some of these other guesses that I've had. So I'm going to go with Animal Crossing, because I know people will upload videos of all their crazy creations on Animal Crossing.
And we have a certain sidekick host that loves him some Animal Crossing. I know you do too.
Yeah, I'd never played any of them until the latest. No, I don't think he plays now. I think, there was an update that came out, and he played it a little bit when that update came out. I'll tell you who plays this game a lot is Tucker's girlfriend, and she has I think it's thousands of hours on Animal Crossing. It's a lot.
Was she available? Maybe she can come out and guess this list instead of you.
Yeah, she'd probably do a better job. All right. So was Animal Crossing on here?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, cool. All right. I don't think it's 3. I just, my gut is telling me lower, but I'm going to put it at 5. Animal Crossing, 5.
Final answer?
Lock it in.
If you take 5 and put another 5 next to it, and then take 1 away from that 5, and then put it all together, you get number 9, which is Animal Crossing New Horizons at number 9.
Should have went with my guts.
This is the most recent, I believe this is the most recent game on the list. It came out in 2020.
Well, I think what a lot of people probably did when this game came out and COVID happened is a lot of people were staying at home, hanging out with their villagers, and not going outside and talking to people, instead just hanging out with their villagers.
It is like this and like The Sims, games like that. Kind of like they were like a great replacement for real life society in a way. But Animal Crossing definitely benefited from COVID, sadly. COVID sucked, but not for Nintendo. COVID was great for Nintendo because Animal Crossing New Horizons lets players escape to a deserted island where they can craft their perfect sanctuary from scratch. Its runaway success during the COVID-19 pandemic proved it's not just a game, but also a comforting haven for millions. The game was nominated for over a dozen awards and was a major commercial success. It sold over 44 million copies and broke the console game record for most digital units sold in a single month. It's the best-selling game in the series, the second best-selling game on Nintendo Switch, so it sold more than Smash. It's the best-selling game of all time, of any console in Japan, and the 14th best-selling game of any success.
I'm really surprised by all those numbers. I mean, I know it was really popular, I just didn't realize it was that popular.
Yeah, well, me either. When you were playing, because I know you played this, so did I. I visited your island once. It was a cute little island.
No, but I saw a lot of Make America Great signs. They were all over the place. All my villagers, they just were all over it.
Well, you may think I'm joking, but the Joe Biden 2020 campaign did release official digital yard signs for use in the game.
Did they really?
Players, could use to decorate their islands. But which I thought was smart for, a modern presidential campaign to do that.
No wasted opportunity.
But the game was also used by democracy activists in Hong Kong, including Joshua Wong, as a platform to protest virtually. In reaction, the game was removed from stores in China.
What do you think about that? I mean, we're talking about a game where 10 animal bipedal creatures are hanging out, singing songs if you put a little stereo outside, and they'll walk up and sing along with it. And you're picking up fruit and planting flowers.
But those animals are fucking when you're not watching. Like when you are walking away from the game, and because they all keep living in the digital world they're in. and they go home and they have a home. They all have their own homes. You know they're fucking. Fucking is just going to start happening.
It's inevitable. It's like putting a bunch of teenagers in a room.
That's why I'd like if you were to sign on to Animal Crossing one day. And recently, I turned on Animal Crossing for the first time in like 2.5 years. And all my little villagers were like, "Oh my God, where have you been? We've missed you so much." But I'd love if one of the villagers was like pregnant.
Well, what if they say it was Tom Nook and then the baby is born and it looks like the alligator that lives next door?
Well, then that fucking alligator got some explaining to do. That alligator's got some explaining to do. And if you, listener, listened to our last, a few episodes ago, the largest land animals in North America, and you can't find that alligator and you're looking for the motherfucker to question his ass, look up in the trees. That alligator might be up in the tree next to Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking. He'll be up there with him.
Maybe Stephen Hawking got this hippo or whatever the animal is that's pregnant, you know?
Very likely. He's a horn dog.
That's Animal Crossing at number 9. You have a few more Nintendo games if you want to stay in Nintendo land for a little while.
Yeah, I'm really...
Let me help you. These aren't games that... They're on the Switch. They're not by Nintendo.
So none of them are Nintendo-developed games. Yeah, that really makes it difficult, because I don't know what Switch games are out there that they didn't develop. I want to say Pokemon, and I do have a feeling that Pokemon is on this list, but well, fuck it. I'm going to say Pokemon Go. So I'm moving into the mobile phone territory.
Pokemon Go is number 21.
Wow. Okay. Is Pokemon Go kind of falling off? I mean, I fell off, but I didn't know if people in general were falling off.
No, I think it's still huge. It's number 21 on this list, but it's far from its peak, I would say. If you were looking at a graph, I'd say it's on its slow to...
Okay.
No Pokemon on the list.
Well, I don't think it's on here, but I'll say Witcher, because I think that came out on the Switch.
I think it did too, but it's not on here. Let me help you.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
This is a mobile game. It's on the Switch, but it came out on mobile first. It's on a bunch of consoles. It's a party game.
Well, I was going to say Jack in the Box, but I don't think that... No, space-themed.
It was inspired by a popular party game that we have ourselves played at parties over the years.
Yeah, Mario Party, I'm guessing. Oh, no?
No,
card game.
No. What's a card game we played? Mafia? Remember that game?
Yeah. Oh, is this the imposter thing? I don't even remember the name of it. It's like has this alien spacesuit, or not alien, but the spacesuit wearing guys. And Among Us, that's what it's called. Yeah. I never played it. Did you play it?
Yeah, it's fun. A few minutes here, a few minutes there. It's fun.
Yep. I knew it was a craze, but I never played it. I'm going to guess I'm 7.
It's 8.
Hey, I was close.
Close, but no cigar. This game is developed by Inner Sloth in 2018. It's a social
What did you say? Alligator sloth? What?
Inner Sloth.
Oh, Inner Sloth.
You got a hearing problem?
I got alligators on the mind. I'm worried about them hanging on trees.
It's okay. They go up there on their own. They're used to the trees. While this game was inspired by the party game Mafia, you and your crewmates need to prepare your spaceship for departure, but beware as imposters are in your midst. One or more players are working silently to sabotage and kill the crew. Its simplicity of gameplay and the infusion of strategy has thrust it into the spotlight, rejuvenating party-style multiplayer games. Now, while the game was initially released in 2018 to little mainstream attention, it received a massive rise in popularity in 2020 due to many Twitch streamers and YouTubers who played it during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I wanted to spend most of our time on Among Us talking about this next section. I had never heard this. In May 2021, an eBay user named Tav listed a Chicken McNugget from McDonald's for online auction. The nugget was listed because the seller felt it resembled a crewmate, which is the main character in Among Us, those little guys in the spacesuits. He thought, this chicken nugget looks like a crewmate. I'm going to put it on eBay. Which, by the way, if I opened up a chicken nugget and I saw it look like this thing... Who has that thought? My first thought would not be, I'm going to sell it bad, but my first thought would be like, I'm going to eat this fucking thing. This is my first thought.
I'm going to dip this sumbitch in some sauce.
I'm going to dip his ass in sauce and eat it. Move on to the next one. Move on to the chicken nugget that looks like Jesus. Eat that one too. I'm not going to think about eBay, but this guy Tav did.
So what did it sell for? Do you know?
Yeah, I do. You're not going to believe this, but let me first say that he was... Maybe this is why he did it. He didn't eat it because he was inspired, Stephen, from a 2017 auction he saw for a Cheeto that looked similar to the Gorilla Harambe.
Dicks out for Harambe.
Remember Harambe? God rest his soul. Yeah. There was a Cheeto that looked like him, and that sold for $99,000. But this chicken nugget, Stephen, He expected the nugget to sell for around $50 US dollars. Just, this is funny. It's a novelty. I'm going to put it on. It reminds me of that Cheeto I saw. Let's see if I get $50 out of it. But after a bidding war, that nugget was sold to an anonymous buyer for $99,997.
So how are you preserving this? You're the buyer. You think, oh, I'm going to drop a cool 100,000 on this. That's chump change. I really want this this chicken nugget. And then it ships to you, assuming it, doesn't get moldy or whatever, all on its way to you. What do you do when you get it? Are you like encasing it in a like a glass case, but it's like is it enamel? It's no, it's not enamel, it's on your teeth.
Well, let me tell you, remember that this thing, it was 2 days of a bidding war that got it to $100,000. So this guy lists this chicken nugget, thinks it's going to get 50, and 2 days later, it's up to $100,000. It won the Guinness World Record for the most expensive chicken nugget sold ever. And you mentioned this chicken nugget molding, and bro, I love chicken nuggets. They're tasty as hell, but they have to suffer because that chicken nugget will last longer than we will.
It was epoxy. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, okay. Is that like a casing?
Well, it's like you pour it and then it will solidify and it's clear.
Oh, okay.
You want to spend $100,000 just to eat a probably week-old chicken nugget as it's shipping to you.
You can say, I'm the guy that ate the $100,000 Guinness World Record winning chicken nugget.
That is the best opening line for a date that I've ever heard in my life. I mean, I wouldn't even be able to wait to tell her. Like we wouldn't even be able to sit down. I'd be, the second I open the car door to let her in, as soon as I'm picking her up, I'd say, hey, did you know I ate before you even sit down. Before you fasten your seatbelt, I need you to know this. Yeah. And then that's when she's like, oh my God. And that's when she says, let's skip dinner. Let's go right to your place. And then he says, hold on, I got to hide my ditto.
A few days ago, so he's gonna hide it before she comes over.
He'll have it transform into the nightstand while she's there.
Have it. Ditto will transform into a dildo while it's there. While she's there.
Ditto, tag in.
The great thing is that Ditto could turn into a chicken nugget too.
He could.
That October after this happened, a Chilean chicken brand, Super Polo, or it's probably Super Pollo, partnered with Innersloth. Innersloth is the developer who makes Among Us. You never thought of anything that life-changing?
No, never. That's why I'll never be able to sell a Dorito for $90,000.
Just make it look like Dr. Buster's ass. It'll sell for something.
They don't make Doritos that big.
They don't. Or that juicy or jiggly. We know you like to listen to Tennis Podcast, but now it's time to wear it. TennisPod.com/merch has all of your merch needs. We have new designs that let the world know you're a sidekick host, or that your loved one should just go ahead and unsubscribe. All these and more are available to wear on your tight little body right now. We also have designs for the licking machine, your body elves, and many others. We even have one that proves you have one hell of an ass. We have shirts available for all sexes and multiple colors available, as well as mugs, hoodies, and hats. And to help you get started, I have a special discount for you. Use promo code BUTT for 10% off your next order. That's promo code BUTT at tennispod.com/MERCH. Don't be a butt. Shop now. All right, well, that's it for Among Us.
Nintendo is, I'm really drawing blanks here, especially because you're saying that they're not, I mean, there are obviously games I haven't played. Guide me to this other one.
Soccer, but with rocket-powered cars.
Oh, yeah. That's another game that everybody plays on Mondays, but I don't. It's Rocket League. I should have guessed that. That's a good one.
From Psyonix, 2015.
I'm going to put it at 4.
It's number 7.
Jeez. No, I don't even feel like I'm doing a good job at guessing the games.
I'm gonna reach out to this Chilean and we don't have to have you take up bad guessing spots on this show anymore.
Hey, free trip to space, I'll take it.
Well, Rocket League is a game, soccer, but with rocket-powered cars. Up to 8 players assigned to each of 2 teams. They use their vehicles to hit the ball. Yeah, it's what I said, soccer, but with cars. The game has won a ton of awards and has a huge presence in esports.
I know, I remember thinking, well, this was back in like 2000 and 2008 or something like that when Halo tournaments were a big thing, and I thought it was crazy that they were winning like $30,000, $50,000. But we're talking bigger bucks now. It's a bigger audience today. Yeah,
It's a whole industry now. Yeah, it's huge.
you know, with Rocket League, I had a roommate, Jordan, and I would play games with him sometimes, and he was usually a pretty chill guy. Like, wasn't too rambunctious or boisterous, but you get him playing Rocket League, and he is like screaming. Like with excitement, with anger, with all of these emotions, and he's like freaking out. And when Rita would come over, we'd be watching a show or something, and he'd be upstairs playing it. We could hear him all the way down the stairs throughout the whole house. It would reverberate through the whole house.
I've never seen Jordan like that. That's surprising. Do you know, did he take the game out of the thing and snip it up into a million little pieces?
I think you download that. That's digital,
Oh, then you just got to cut up the whole Switch then.
Yeah, or the whole computer.
Yeah, there you go. Or just, why stop there? Cut up your fucking self. Cut up yourself and
Cut up the house, dice up your car.
Yeah. Find Stephen Hawking in the nearest tree, cut his ass up too.
Yeah, but not the alligator. Leave that alligator alone.
No, leave the alligator alone. It's a majestic creature for sure. I don't have a ton of notes on it. It's just not that interesting to talk about, I don't think. So we're going to move on.
Yeah, really cool idea. Never played it. Looks fun. I've just never been big into sports games.
But it's also so simple and straightforward. It's like cars that play soccer,
Can't go wrong. I'm embarrassed to say because I'm really have been thinking this whole time. I know what the game is. I just can't think of the name. And it's really popular. It has like every fucking character imaginable. And like I know Thanos is in it and everybody, and there's dances, and it's like I know that you used to build like whatever, and it's an arena game, and it's like you're trying to be the last one standing. What the hell is the name of it? Do you know the game I'm talking about?
Is it Apex Legends?
No, but that's a good guess. I didn't think that was going to be on here. Is that on here?
It's not. It's number 18.
Oh, okay. It's not Apex Legends. All right, I'm going to kind of cheat here. I have to look it up. Because it's been really popular.
Look up Thanos butt. That's what I do when I don't know what to look up.
Oh my god, this is gonna. I've literally been sitting here thinking, trying to remember what the name of this fucking game is, and I keep drawing a blank. I give up.
There is a Marvel game on here though.
Oh, is it Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
I know a new one just came out. I just didn't think this was a game that people like played enough to like stream. And is it number 6?
Nope. It actually, just as I was looking at it, it changed numbers. So it's actually number 6.
Don't you hate it when they do that?
Yeah. Well, pretty much every time you're on the show, I feel like. Insomniac Games, 2018. Spider-Man swings into action in this adrenaline-pumping action-adventure game. Players control Peter Parker and his web-slinging escapades as he fights to keep New York safe from various villains. It was released for the PS4 in 2018, being praised for its graphics, narrative, characterization, combat, musical score, and web-swinging traversal mechanics. It received a number of accolades, including being named as one of the best superhero games ever made. And it became one of the fastest-selling games of the year and the best-selling PS4 game of all time. And there was, it spawned a franchise and a spin-off and a sequel, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, released in 2023 on the PS5. And that one's number 11.
That's the newest one that just came out.
Really? Miles Morales?
Oh, wait, no. No, that's
there's
wrong.
Spider-Man 2
there's
came
Spider-Man,
out.
Yeah, that's right. I've played Spider-Man and I played the Miles Morales one, and I like both of them a lot, but I haven't played the newest one. And it's partly because I don't have a PlayStation, so I have to wait until Sony decides to allow it to be on the PC. Almost all these Spider-Man games are the same, just the graphics get better, and then like the combat and like side quests and stuff gets a little more interesting. But yeah, I mean, you're basically New York, web slinging, swinging through all the buildings, and someone on the street will be shouting in for help, and you can go down and help them. And then there's the main story, which usually has a lot of cool villains. The story in that first Spider-Man was really good. I liked it. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. It won awards for its story. So yeah. I haven't played it, but of all the ones on here that I haven't played yet, that one, when I was reading about it, sounded the most fun to me. But I don't have a PlayStation, and I don't plan to get one, so there we go.
There you go.
Any other guesses?
Yeah, I found out what the name of that game was that I spent 20 minutes trying to remember. It's Fortnite.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yes, it was Fortnite. That's what I was trying to remember. And I was certain that this was going to be in the top 10.
Well, yes, Fortnite's on here. For some reason, your description of it did not sound like Fortnite to me. I don't know why.
This is a person who's never played it and has probably watched 5 minutes combined of other people playing it in his life, and that person's trying to explain to you what that game was.
Yeah. I'm surprised. But, listeners should know that Steven's not really a social media guy, so he probably misses out on a lot of the shit that makes the waves there, because Fortnite is hugely popular and memorific.
Yeah, I knew this list was going to age me. I'm going to put it at number 3.
Well, if you take 3 and you add 8, if you take 3, add 8, and then subtract 6 from that, you'll get number 5, Fortnite. Which is a 2017 game.
Amazing mathematic gymnastics that you're doing to try to get my number to your number.
I'm just trying to help the listeners stay sharp. That's all I'm trying to do.
I hope the listeners brought their protractor with them today, because they're going to need it to follow what you're doing.
Well, I think they're going to be protracted asshole after that Ditto experience, but that's another issue. Stevens is nodding knowingly. Rolling up its sleeves in the battle royale genre, Fortnite has been a game changer in multiplayer gaming.
I really am not. I'm just not. Honestly, I've lost this. If that would have come out when I was 18, I probably would have been all over it. But I just have no interest in competitive shooters anymore. And a competitive shooter is probably a loose way to explain that. But I don't know. It's too much stress. I'd much rather just be a couch gamer.
Cranky old man.
I can't keep up with the kids.
Bro, me either. And when I was 18, I couldn't either. Its cartoonish graphics coupled with engrossing building mechanics has made it a cultural phenomenon, with players calling it a breath of fresh air. And as of March 2024, it's the number 1 PC game by active daily players. Player count had exceeded 350 million way back in May 2020, so it's well beyond that by now. And the Battle Royale version of the game, which is called Fortnite Battle Royale, has become a phenomenon and has been compared by analysts to World of Warcraft and Minecraft for successfully drawing in people who do not usually play video games. Part of the game's success is considered to be related to its impact on social media. It is the most viewed game on Twitch for years now. It beat out League of Legends for that. A number of celebrities and athletes have said they play Fortnite Battle Royale, including Chance the Rapper, Joe Jonas, Finn Wolfhard, Roseanne Barr, and Norm Macdonald, all listeners of the show.
After all of that you just told me, and all of the how many people are at number 1 streaming game on Twitch and everything, I am shocked that it is at number 5, and I'm even more shocked that it's behind Super Smash Brothers. I don't know. I have a hard time buying that.
I do too. But you got to remember, the list today is not based on data, like player data. It's based on people voting in a poll. You know what I mean? So this is self-reported. We know as a fact that as far as streaming goes, at least, and players, Fortnite is way above Smash. There's more daily active players in Fortnite than Smash. No questions asked. But the way people answered in this poll put Smash above it. So it's a flawed poll. I agree. But here we are. It's too late to turn back now.
Here we are. Too late.
One other thing, and this is probably the Marvel stuff you were talking about that got me confused. But the Russo brothers, who directed Avengers Infinity War, and that's what led them to propose the idea for the limited time Thanos mode for the game.
I mean, I've never played it, but I still feel like I see things of new characters getting added. Like I isn't there like Star Wars and probably Harry Potter and fucking like everything in that Lord of the Rings, probably everything in Fortnite.
Porn stars, yeah,
dittos, alligators, Stephen Hawking.
Let's just go through the list again. Every reference we've made. Yeah. I have played it a few times, but I sucked so bad that I just got discouraged and stopped. But I could definitely see the appeal. It's a fun, and games are usually quick, maybe a half hour or so each. I like games like that, where you can pick it up, play it for a round or two, and then walk away. The OG sidekick host on this show, Brandon Kaufman, he would often talk about.
I remember one, and I got into it very late, but I did play it, and that is Red Dead Redemption 2. Is that on here?
It's on here.
Wow. I'm so surprised. Because that's maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that was like a campaign game. You play it, you beat it, that's it. There's no ongoing thing to do. It's not like a Rocket League or a Smash Brothers where you can turn it on and play with some friends and then, get off for the night and then you can, keep playing it over and over. Is Red Dead Redemption 2 like that? I thought it was just a single player game. At least that's what I got.
Well, there's definitely a campaign, but it's kind of like, it's like Grand Theft Auto, who also made Red Dead Redemption, where it's the game it's a free world. Like, go do whatever you want, whether it's part of the campaign.
And it is a big world for sure. There is a lot to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like, Breath of the Wild is that way a little bit. The Zelda game, where you can make that game, you can drag it out as long as you want before beating it. Or after beating it, you can still do shit. Now, I agree with you.
Fair enough. I really liked it. I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to be my kind of game. A lot of people kept telling me I should play it, and then I dove into it, and it was really good, and the story was very very intriguing. I just really can't see it at 3 or 4. I want to say 10. I'm going to say 10.
Well, if you take 10 and you add 112
right?
to it,
God damn.
if you add 112 to it, and then subtract,
you're getting lost in your own math. You're getting lost in your own sauce. God.
And then you subtract 119 from that, you get 3, which is Red Dead Redemption 2. It's from Rockstar Games in 2018. The game vividly depicts the twilight years of the Wild West. And the story revolves around Arthur Morgan, a seasoned outlaw grappling with his past and uncertain future. Its gripping narrative, paired with immensely detailed dynamics, has made Red Dead Redemption 2 a top dog in the gaming world, earning accolades from fans and critics alike. Now, the game's development took over 8 years, right after the first Red Dead Redemption, and it became one of the most expensive games ever made. When you include the marketing budget, that's up to $540 million, which is more than most huge blockbuster movies. Development included a crunch schedule of around 2,000 people putting in 100-hour work weeks, leading to reports of mandatory and unpaid overtime. It was greatly reported, and they got a lot of flack for that. But by April 2020, employees reported that things had. So
I don't even know how you do it. I feel like 100 hours is enough. You could have 2,000 people putting in 100 hours a week. You're never going to be able to edit out all that ass.
No, it's too much ass. Now, the game received so much acclaim for its character, story, graphics, music, blah, 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 blah. It won more than 175 Game of the Year awards.
Yeah, Rita would come in. There's because you haven't played it, have you?
I've seen a lot of it, but I have not played it personally.
Because, the character you play is Arthur, and the leader, I think his name is Dutch. I think it's Dutch, or not. Yeah, I think it's Dutch. But he's like, have some damn faith, Arthur. And David and I we'll still say that to each other sometimes.
At the beginning of the episode.
I'm gonna win.
It sounds just like him.
Yeah, it's Dutch. That's his name.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is Rockstar Games, and they also made
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yep, which is number 10 or 4. Which one?
4.
Well, you take 4.
Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here.
You multiply it by 8.
Oh,
you add 6 to that, gets you 4, which is 4th place. You actually got it right.
Okay.
First
you fucking had me. You fucking had me.
Grand Theft Auto 5. Stepping out of line has never been more entertaining than in Grand Theft Auto 5, with a notorious reputation for its adult content. Oh, baby. GTA 5 puts you in the shoes of 3 distinctive criminals navigating the gritty LA-inspired city, Los Santos. The game broke industry sales records and became the fastest-selling entertainment product in history. Did you hear that? Not video game in history. Entertainment product. That includes movies, music, books, comics, games. Fastest selling of any of that in history. $800 million in the first day and $1 billion in the first 3 days. Like the highest grossing movie ever, which is Avatar 2, grossed, I don't know.
It's crazy how popular it is. I've played it, not 5, but I've played a Grand Theft Auto. I always got so bored with it. I would end up just slaughtering a bunch of people and getting the entire police force chasing after me and typing in cheat codes and then And then I get bored of that after like an hour, and then I don't play it very much anymore. I know that 5 has like a really good story, and I'm sure it's amazing. I never got into it.
Yeah, I got bored of them too. I have not played 5, but like the earlier ones I would get kind of bored quickly, but I also suck as a gamer, so maybe I just not able to use it to its full potential. But listen to this. It's one of the most financially successful entertainment products of all time. $8.5 billion in worldwide revenue. I want you to think about that.
Crazy.
Avatar 2, highest grossing movie ever in history, has $3 billion. This game has $8.5 billion, almost 3 times as much for one game. It's insane.
Did you say when this game came out?
I want to say 2018.
Like 6 years at least, right?
Yeah, 6 years sounds right. 2013. So it's been out 11 years. Now, Steven, I know you probably don't have a problem with this since you're a fucking pig, sexist, chauvinistic male. But a lot of people had a problem with Grand Theft Auto 5's portrayal of women. There was a reviewer said that female characters were, quote, either there to be rescued, shouted at, fucked, to be seen fucking, put up with, killed, or heard prattling away like dullards on their mobile phones or shopping, end quote. After GameSpot's Carolyn Petit claimed that the game was misogynistic, her review was met with backlash as users responded with 20,000 largely negative comments and a change.org petition for her firing. Many journalists defended her right to an opinion.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you were saying all those things, I was like, yeah, it definitely is like that for sure. There's no questions about it. I don't know what they'll do. Maybe that's why it's taken them so long to release the next one, because they're still trying to come up with that answer. 2,000 people working hundreds of hours of overtime trying to solve that one.
I'll give you a chance first.
You were mentioning mobile games, and I don't know if that was a red herring or not, but I was going to guess Candy Crush.
It's a great guess.
Wasn't there a game? I'm going to, as an age of myself again here, was Roblox a game, or was that like a Lego, like a physical thing that you do? I knew before I said it, I knew I was going to sound like an old
Grandpa,
man.
I think it's time for your pills. Hang on. Go sit this one out.
Are you going to play those Pokemans on your Nintendo? Or like Roblox. My mom would always call everything a Game Boy. Like I'd be playing the Xbox.
My mom did that too. My mom did that too.
Game Boy. That's me.
And my dad would
now.
call everything a Nintendo.
Yeah.
So like my PlayStation was a Nintendo. Roblox is number 10, and I'm not surprised you don't know much about it, because this is basically like 90% of the players are like under age 17. And I'm very familiar with it because, like Minecraft, my kids play it all the time and watch stupid YouTube streamers and shit. It's made by the Roblox Corporation, first came out in 2006. It's a virtual sandbox that lets players create and play custom-made games and experiences. Its democratic setup where anyone can create content has hit a nerve with millions worldwide, especially younger gamers, making the game a formidable force in the industry. Now, I mentioned it came out in 2006, but for most of its history, it was a relatively small. It was the COVID pandemic that brought attention to this game, and it blew up after that. It's free to play. In-game purchases are available. And as of this, that's crazy. As of August 2020, over 164 million monthly active users, including more than half of all American children under 16.
Yeah, it's a crazy statistic. Can you think of anything that was when we were under 16 that 50% of everybody our age was doing? Can you think of anything that would even compare with that? I guess Halo was really, well, yeah.
Jerking off is the universal language.
No, that's what I mean. The only thing that even comes to mind is Halo, but I don't think Halo comes anywhere close to 50%. I feel like 10 to 15 is probably more. Maybe that's high.
That seems high, but yeah, I agree. I don't know. This has it though, Roblox, man. But it's not without its controversy, because it's faced criticism for its moderation, microtransactions, and allegations of exploitative practices toward children. Anytime you have so many kids playing the same thing, it's inevitable that people are going to try to take advantage of that.
So chat, are these it's like you put on a headset and you're talking, or is chat like text?
No, it's text chat.
Okay.
But you got to remember, these are children who can be easily manipulated and fooled in chat.
Listeners of the show.
Listeners of the show, exactly. Well, we did it. I'm going to go back, starting at number 20. Okay. So we're going to hear some games you haven't guessed yet. Some of these, I don't know, it just seems hard to believe they'd be on here, but that's what it says. Number 20, most popular games right now in May 2024. Number 20 is League of Legends. 19 is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Super Mario Odyssey. Seems weird
Still?
that that's above Mario Kart.
But yeah, I agree. That again seems like a game you play it, you beat it, it's done. Really popular when it came out, but
it was for me. I haven't touched it since I beat it.
A year after the game came out, who's still playing that?
Your fucking mom. On her Game
Listener
Boy.
of the show.
16 is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which that one makes more sense than Odyssey. 15 is Overwatch. 14 is Fall Guys. 13 is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. 12 is Call of Duty Black Ops, I think 4. The title's weird. Number 11 is Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. And now the top 10. Roblox at 10. Number 9 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 8 is Among Us. Number 7 is Rocket League. Number 6 is Spider-Man from 2018. Number 5 is Fortnite. Number 4 is Grand Theft Auto West Minecraft.
So I do have a question for you. When did you say this, when was this poll taken?
Still an active poll, and as of the date I pulled this data.
Okay, but you said that number 16 or something like that was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild?
Yep, which is not the newest Zelda.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that it's not Tears of the Kingdom, because Tears of the Kingdom is bigger, and I feel like there's a little bit more, I don't know, crazy-ass things you can do with some of the contraptions you can build. I'm just shocked that that one's not number 16. All right, so what's your favorite out of these top 10? What would you say is your favorite game to play? If you had a free Saturday, you were going to turn on one of these games, what would it be?
I would choose to play Smash on my Saturday. Smash Bros.
I agree. I mean, I liked Red Dead when I played it, but I beat it, and so I just have I have no desire to go back and replay it. Smash Bros is one of those things where it's always fun turning it on, but and I do get together and play some Mario games with like a couple friends here, like maybe once a month, but it's 9 times out of 10 it's Mario Party that we play, and then that other 1 out of 10 times it's Mario Kart. We've never turned on Smash Brothers together ever.
I'll play it with you next time I see you.
Sounds good to me.
Steven, I don't know what to do now. What do we do?
Let's talk more about Ditto.
No, I think we should definitely not. We're going to get in trouble. I want the listeners to let us know what you thought of this list and what games are you playing, what games are missing, what was the biggest surprise. Hit us up on social media. You can follow me at TenishPod. That's at 10ISHPOD. We're on every social channel. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, YouTube, all of them. At TenishPod. The links are also in the show notes. I'm going to be back next week with Dr. Buster, and if you want to listen to that episode before anyone else, early and with no ads in it, go to tennispod.com/plus, and you can get that episode early and ad-free. Steven, give me a video game quote as a sign-off. How would Wario end this episode?
Well, for me, it's because I got like every single one wrong, and when Mario loses, he does like a crying, like a wah. So that's how I feel right now.
Fuck. I feel like I did this whole episode with Wario and not Stephen Clark. All right, I think we're done. Thanks, Steven. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It was great gaming with you today.